I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will learn how to measure angles. Well, here what you see is a protractor. Sometimes in short we just call it a D because of its shape. So on this D you can see starting from here like outset 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170 and 180. These are the angles in degrees provided we have a center right there. Do you see that center point? So this horizontal line here makes an angle of 180 degrees. Now these angles could be read, as I said, clockwise, or also could be read counterclockwise. Now when you want to read counterclockwise, it is starting here 0, then it's 10, 20, 30, 40. The inside values which are looking at, these are counterclockwise, right? So it could be measured either way. So what we will do here is, we'll just sketch a horizontal line going through our vertex. So that's the first thing. And then we'll make some angles. What you need to do is find the measurement of each, right? So this is our horizontal line, and what we are going to do is make some angles with this point as the vertex as marked earlier, right? So align it with the horizontal line. Now I'm going to use the inside points to form some angles. So 90. Now here from 0 to 90 we are working counterclockwise. So this is 90 degrees for us. Then let me have an angle of let's say 40 degrees, okay? And we'll make an angle of let us say 130 degrees, okay? So these are few angles which we are going to make. Before I forget, this angle is 40 degrees for me. So let me write down 40 here, okay? So we are writing 40 degrees, which we are going in this direction, okay? And then here we are writing 90 degrees. And for this angle, inside 130 degrees, okay, 130 degrees. So let's work with these three angles for the time being, right? Now, let me join them with some rays. So rays start from the vertex and they go outward. So this ray here is going like this. This is the one which goes for 90 degrees, right? So that is 90 degrees for us. Let me just align them and join. So let me use a different color, okay? So this time I'm using orange color, and then we'll use another color for 40 degrees, okay? So this ray here is for 40 degrees, right? So using the protractor, we can actually find what the angle is, right? So this is for 40 degrees, and then we have one for 90 degrees and one for 130 degrees. Okay. Whenever we are talking about angles, it is a good practice to label. So I'll label this point here as O. And let's say we have a point A here, a point B on this ray, point C on the ray going towards 90 degrees, point D along 130, and let's say we have a point E which is for 180 degrees. Correct. Now the question for you is, what are different angles? If I write, let us say, here I'm writing the angles, you need to write down the values. If I say what is the measurement, sometimes you write M for measurements, of angle AOB. What is the measurement of angle AOB? Can you write it down? Now what is the measurement of angle, let us say AOC? AOC, right? Write it. All these angles are in degrees, okay? What is the measurement of angle AOD? And what is the measurement of the angle AOE? AOE, right? So these are the measurements which you need to find. Well, that is simple. We can actually place the D as we did and measure each angle, right? So that's the whole idea. You can just place the D and do. So AOB we know is 40 degrees. AOC is 90 degrees. AOD is 130 degrees. And how about this point E? It is at 180 degrees. Do you see that? So it starts from here, right? 0, and then ends up at 170, 180, right? So 180 degrees. So you can write down these values. So our answers for these are angle AOB is 40 degrees. Angle AOC is 90 degrees. Angle AOD is 130 degrees. And angle AOE is 180 degrees, right? So these are the angles which we measured using protractor. Now, let's get back to some difficult questions. This time, we'll try to find what is the measurement of angle BOC. What is the measurement of angle BOC? How will you find this angle? This is what I'm interested in finding now. We know this much is 40 degrees. There we have 90 degrees. So what is the measurement of angle BOC? Well, what we can do here is we know how much is this. This is 90 degrees. And from this 90 degrees, we can take away 40 degrees to get that angle, right? So what we get here is, to find this, we can do measurement of angle, big angle, which is AOC, take away measurement of angle, the smaller AOB. Now we know measurement of angle AOC, this one, is 90 degrees. Take away this one, which is 40 degrees. So we land up with 50 degrees. So the measurement of this angle is 50 degrees. Do you get an idea? So we have this angle as 50 degrees. That angle was 40 degrees. When you combine them, you get 90 degrees. Correct? Do you know a special name of two angles combined to make 90 degrees? Well, that is complementary angles, right? So we learned here complementary angles. So we have complementary angle, and in this case it is sum of two equal to 90 degrees. So it is angle AOB and angle BOC. So this forms complementary angle. So when sum of two angles is 90, we call it complementary angle. Okay, so now you know how to find in between angles, right? So here is a question for you. You need to find the angle COD. How do you find measurement of angle COD? So at times I may write M for measurement, sometimes I may not. So even if I don't write M, it means the measurement of the angle, okay? So now the question for you is to find measurement of angle COD, that much angle, right? So what is the measurement of this angle? How will you find it? Well, one way is you can always place your protractor horizontally along one of the lines, vertex, and then read. Do you see? So what we read here is angle of 40 degrees. That's one way. What is the other way? The other way is as we did here. So what we will do here is that the big angle is 130, right? So we could do 130 degrees, take away 90 degrees. Is that okay? 90 degrees. And that gives us 40 degrees. So this angle is 40 degrees for us. Correct? So we can find angle by subtracting from bigger, smaller angles. Do you get an idea? Right? Now, the last question for you is, what is the measurement of this angle? DOE, right? So what you need to find is the measurement of this angle. How much is this angle? Now this angle is angle DOE. Now what is the measurement of angle DOE? How to find that? One way, of course, is we know this is 180 degrees, right? So you could do 180 degrees, take away 130. That is one way of doing it, right? So we could do 180 degrees, take away 130 degrees, and that gives you 50 degrees. Is it okay? So this is 50 degrees. So that is how you could find it, right? Now, The question here is, if I add these four rather, what do I get? Let me add them up. So I have 40, 50, 40, 50. Let's add. So we have 40 degrees plus 50 degrees plus 40 degrees plus 50 degrees. So adding all these four angles, 50, 50 is 100, 40, 40 is 80. So you get 180 degrees, right? 180 degrees is a horizontal line. So it forms a horizontal line. So some of these angles is 180. So what are these angles called? If you add angles and you get 180 degrees, you can call them supplementary angles, right? So we have this as supplementary angles. Since sum is equal to 180 degrees, right? So all these angles combined together form 180 degrees. So we call them supplementary angles, right? So what we learn here in this video is how to sketch angles and how to measure the angles in between, and also the term complementary angles, which mean sum of angles being 90 degrees. Supplementary means sum of the angles is 180 degrees. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.